Good day everyone, we are the Group 5 and today we'll be tackling about Thomas Bertram Reid. When we say Thomas, he is actually a Scottish philosopher best known for his philosophical method, theory of perception, and wide implication on epistemology. Thomas, born on 7th of May 1710 in Strachan, United Kingdom. Reid is a short name of Scottish origin. It means red. What Thomas believed in. Thomas held a direct theory of memory. Like his direct realism about perception, he developed his account as an alternative to the model of the mind that he called the theory of ideas. In philosophy of mind, Thomas is most celebrated today for the arguments he gave in support of the position known as direct realism, which it is as most basic states that the primary objects of sense perception are physical objects and not ideas in human minds. What was Thomas known for? Thomas known for his theory of perception and its wide implication on epistemology, and it's also a defender of an Asian causal theory of free will. When we say about epistemology, it is actually a philosophical study of nature, origin, and limits of human knowledge. The terms derive from the Greek episteme, which means knowledge, and logos, which means reason, and accordingly the field is sometimes referred to as a theory of knowledge. By the way, I am Jean Kenneth Alvarez Musso speaking.
Who invented the common sense theory? The common sense philosophy was devised principally by Thomas Reid, a remarkable figure who, in his heyday, the latter half of the 18th century, was more renowned and respected than new. Common sense in philosophy of perception and the philosophy of mind realism is the idea that the senses provide us with the direct awareness of objects as they really are. And it was his retort to Hume's skeptical empiricist philosophy that made him famous, as we shall see. Exploring sense and language. Reid started out with a common sense, based on a direct experience of an internal reality, but then proceeded to explore in two directions, internal to the senses and internal to human language, to account more effectively for the role rationally. Reid is the best known as the father of common sense philosophy. He contends that going back to the principles of common sense will help deal with the problems engendered by the so-called skeptical views of his predecessors. Reid saw language as based on an innate capacity predating human consciousness and acting as an instrument for that consciousness. In Reid's terms, it is an artificial instrument based on natural capacity. On this view, language becomes a means of examining the original form of human cognition. Reid notes the current human language contains two distinct elements. First, the acoustic element, the sounds, and secondly, the meanings, which seem to have nothing to do with the sounds as such. The state of the language, which he calls artificial, cannot be the primeval one, which he terms natural, wherein sound was not abstract sign, but a concrete gesture or natural sign. Reid looks to the way at children's language by imitating sounds, becoming aware of them long before it understands the meaning accorded to the various groups of sounds in the artificial state of contemporary adult speech. Reid also made positive arguments based in phenomenological insight to put forth a novel mixture of lyric realism and ordinary language philosophy. Lyric realism is a theory of perception that states that objects exist mind independently. They have specific properties such as size and color. Ordinary language of philosophy is a philosophical methodology that sees traditional philosophical problems as root in misunderstandings philosophers develop by distorting or forgetting what words mean in everyday use. In a typical passage in The Intellectual Powers of Man, he asserts that when he has a conception of a centaur, the thing he conceives is an animal and no idea is an animal. Therefore, the thing he conceives is not an idea, but a centaur. This point relies both on an account of the subjective experience of conceiving an object and also on an account of what we mean when we use words, because Reid saw his philosophy as publicly accessible knowledge available both through introspection and through the proper understanding of how language is used. He saw it is the philosophy of common sense. Centaur is a creature from Greek mythology with upper body of a human and lower body and legs of an animal. I am Carlton Sinday Magsulin from Group 5. Thank you for watching.